holidays. If you're catching this episode when it airs, we're totally into the holiday season. And I know it's a little different this year with the Rona, but I hope, like me, you're determined to make it special for yourself and for those you care about. I'm also determined to spread some holiday cheer as well. So thanks for joining me in this holiday inspired episode. Now, there are three tiny words that really encapsulate the season for me. The first one's joy. The second one is peace. So go back and listen to the last two episodes if you haven't, so you can learn more about sparking joy and peace with your money this holiday season. Today, I want to explore a third one, which is hope. Hope plays a huge role in the various holidays celebrated this month. The candles of the menorah for Hanukkah represent a growing hope as the light grows brighter each day. The word Advent, which leads up to the Christian Christmas, literally means coming, and it's a season of hope, of expectation, of waiting and preparation. And the naming of Kwanzaa was derived from a phrase meaning first fruits in Swahili. There's so much hope in the first fruits for a plentiful harvest. Even the hope of a child going to bed on Christmas Eve with the celebrations to come Christmas Day is inspiring, right? Who wouldn't want to be that little kid? But what about finding hope with money? We don't know if there's some brighter light coming. It's hard to be expectant and prepare when the future is so uncertain. We have our fruit that we have right now, but we don't know if there's going to be a harvest tomorrow. And there's no Santa Claus of money. But what if you could be your own Santa Claus of money? What if you could find hope in even the simplest of actions? Guess what? I think you can. And today I'm going to share with you how. Welcome to the Fife Movement. I'm your host, Amanda Neely. This is the only movement that helps our generation create our unique, feminine, and entrepreneurial path to financial independence. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the bell as well so that you get notifications of future episodes. Now, have you ever felt completely and utterly hopeless? Maybe that was this year, or maybe it was several years ago, but draw to mind a time when you felt hopeless. Now, you don't have to dwell on it for long or remember the details, but please do have a specific time in mind. For me, the one that comes to mind is when I felt completely and utterly hopeless that my marriage was going to last. This one was several years ago, so no worries there. But do you got one for yourself? Good. Okay, great. Now, draw to mind a time when you have felt completely and utterly filled with hope to the point of maybe even overflowing. Maybe this was recently, maybe it was a long, long time ago, but think of one time in particular when you felt lots and lots of hope. For me, I'm going to use the summer before leaving home for college. I had so much hope for the next 4 years. Do you got one for yourself? A time when you felt a lot of hope. Now, if you put these two circumstances side by side, what do you notice about what's different between these two situations? The one of hopelessness and the one of great hope. Now, no need to do a whole compare contrast analysis. Put your charts there, put, the differences. I have a good guess of what might be the most important part about when we feel hopeless and when we feel hope. What do you think that is? I'll leave you in suspense for a second while we bring our minds to today and this moment for how we might be feeling hopeful or hopeless in the here and now. Now, there might be several reasons to feel particularly hopeless right now. COVID, the economy, changes in leadership, national leadership, right? Debt, job uncertainty, and so on and so forth. And there also might be several reasons to feel particularly hopeful right now. A vaccine. The stock market's pretty high, at least as of the recording. Changes that come from new leadership on a national level, getting out of debt, having a good job, and so on and so forth. Now, what do you notice about what's different about the things we find hope in right now and the things that make us feel hopeless right now? Again, you don't have to do a whole compare and contrast, but you can if you want. The conclusion that I come to from this exercise is that the things that we feel most hopeless in are when we feel like we don't have any control over what comes next. But we feel most hopeful when we have a sense of control over what's going to happen in the future. So, like COVID feels outside of our control in a lot of ways. You wear your mask, you wash your hands, and you can still get it. A vaccine, though, puts us in more control over whether we get the virus or not. Go back to those memories you brought to mind a minute ago. Does this ring true from your personal experience? Right? When my marriage was on the rocks, there was a lot of control there, right? It was somewhat in my partner's hands, sometime, whatever. Whereas, the idea of going to college the next 4 years, I felt like I was in control of my destiny, right? I had chosen that college. I could choose my classes. I was finally like being able to be an adult and make some of my own decisions, right? And hopefully that kind of rings true for you too when you're thinking about when you felt hopeless or hopeful. It's all about control, which naturally leads me to the question, how do we move from hopeless to hopeful with money? And I think there's only one reason to feel really, truly hopeless about money. And that's if you stick your head in the sand, cross your arms, and refuse to do nothing. If you resolve that you'll be in debt for the rest of your life, or that you'll always live paycheck to paycheck, or that there's no room for improvement on your journey, you're committing to hopelessness. But if you take a moment or two, or maybe even a couple days, maybe even an hour webinar, and you find something, anything that you might do to take action, you're going to have that sense of control. And that sense of control is going to give you a lot of hope on your future with money. You'll see that even little chips away at your debt will eventually add up, and you have hope that the debt will not last your entire lifetime. You'll see ways to get ahead that you didn't see before, and you'll have hope that you can finally break the cycle. You'll see the rut that you're in, and you'll hop the tires out to get you onto a better route and, go in a new direction for consistent improvement. I have a challenge for you in this regard. If you think you're completely hopeless when it comes to the next stage of your financial journey, or if you're like, I could really use a little more hope. Maybe I've got a little bit, but I need an extra helping. I want you to join me this month for a free webinar I'm doing to help spread the holiday spirit, to help spark some joy, some peace, and some hope with money going into 2021 and throughout the coming year. And if you join us for that webinar and you do not leave the webinar feeling hope with money, I will personally give you a surprise gift worth over $1,000. All you got to do to take this challenge is visit fifemovement.com/joy. There'll be all the deets there for how to participate. This is a limited time offer. Be sure you go to that link. I'll put it in the description of this episode as well. And I hope to see you there for what will be what I'm planning to be a fun, joy-filled, peace-filled, and hope-filled time together. Again, an hour of your time that I'm hoping will help you spark more joy, spark more peace, and spark more hope with your money. And if it doesn't do that, particularly the hope part, please let me know. Take me up on this challenge, and I'll give you that gift worth $1,000. Again, it's fifemovement.com/joy. For now, thanks for joining me and connecting with the Fife Movement. As you go about your day today, remember, wealth is coming your way. Your quest is to prepare for using it well. For more tips on how to prepare, be sure to subscribe. Next week, we're going to stay in the holiday spirit. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll still see the poinsettia, but we will be talking about some timeless wisdom that I think you'll really find helpful on your journey toward financial independence. We're really going to dig in on what is financial independence and what that journey will look like going forward. So be sure to subscribe to get those. And then to connect with the community, visit fifemovement.com. And my gift today has helped you, maybe given you some hope, let you see that you can have hope as you take control. Then please pay that gift forward by sharing this content with a friend. My gratitude in advance. To help this video be seen by more people, please hit that like button. We invite your feedback in the comments too. What brings you peace? Do you resonate with this idea of hope comes from the idea of having control over your future?